In today's video, I'm going to show you how to crochet these really cute starfish dishcloths. This is not my pattern. This is a Red Heart Yarns pattern. It's pattern number LC2272. It's an intermediate skill level, so it's not a beginning theme, but hopefully you can follow me along. This dishcloth was designed by Mary Ann Fritz, and it measures about 9 inches, So this is you can use in 2 different color forms or other colors as well. I'm using the Cream de la Cream. It's from Red Heart from Coats and Clark. And this is you just need one of these packets for each one of these. If you want to use the aqua, then you would use the aqua color. And then they both use the cream color here. And then this one is called Tear Rose, and it's really pretty. I really like the way it looks. And then your edges is done in the linen. So these are, but of course there are other colors of Creme de la Creme, but these are just really pretty. I think they'll look really good on any kind of decor. So you could choose your colors. So to get started, of course, you will need your yarn, your H hook, which is a 5mm. You're going to need some scissors. I use two stitch markers, and then of course your yarn needle to sew in all your ends. If you want to follow along, please go ahead and go to redheart.com and you could download the pattern, and it's the starfish dishcloths. To begin our dishcloth, we're going to start with first the cream color. And there's a few stitches that you may not be familiar with. So here, if you look at your pattern, we're going to have a few decreasing stitches that maybe you haven't used before, but we're going to work through them. Of course, the DC2TOG means to double crochet 2 together, and those are worked over 2 stitches. And then this double crochet 3 together are worked over 3 stitches. And then the one that you usually don't really use very often is double crochet 5 together. So I'll go through all those, and then I'll show you how we work those. So here to begin, then with the color A, here our little instructions give you which color A. For the color B, you're either going to choose aqua or tea rose, or if you have other color choices in the Creme de Creme, you could do that. And then our last color, C, is the linen. So here to begin, you're going to begin with the cream color, and you're going to chain 5, and we're going to slip stitch to form into the first chain to form a ring. Okay, so here, what I like about these two is that they have a pull from the center, which makes it easier to use them. So here, I'm just going to begin, and I'm going to do 5 chains. So here, just a slip loop, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Once we do the 5, we're going to slip stitch into the first chain to form our ring. Just like that, okay? Okay, so then our round 1, if you follow along, it tells us to chain 9. And then we're going to go ahead and do that. So it's easier if you work your patterns when you're reading them, if you do them in the group instructions. So first you would do chain 9, so do that first, and then you do your next instruction here, and then that way you don't get lost. So here for the first set of instruction, it tells us to chain 9. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, get some more yarn, 8, and 9. Now if you read the pattern, the next instruction tells us to single crochet in the second chain from the hook. This loop does not count as a chain, so here's 1, 2. So in the second chain, I'm going to put in my yarn, my hook without yarning over. I'll have 2 loops there, and then that's going to be the first single crochet. Okay, and so then now here it tells us to half double crochet in the next chain. So I'm going to yarn over, go into the next chain, pull out my hook. Now there'll be 3 loops on the hook. I'm going to pull through all 3, so that's the half double crochet. And now here it tells us now to double crochet in the next 6 chains. Okay, so here we're going to yarn over and double crochet in each of the next 6 chains. So here you have 3 loops. Go through the first 2, then the second 2, and that completes your first double crochet. I'm going to do that for my next 5 chains here. The second one, the next chain, 5. Let me get that here. And the last chain here, 6. Okay, once you do this, then it tells us now that we're going to, let me get here, lost my place here. We're going to single crochet into the ring. Okay, so here inside the ring, you're going to go in there, pull out your yarn, 2 loops, and you single crochet. Now you're going to repeat the same instructions I just did here until you have 5 points like this. So you would do that 4 more times. So once again, you would start with your 9 chains and then start doing your stitches along the chain and then single crocheting here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Repeat the 4 until I have 4 of these points. Remember, if you feel if the video is going too fast, there is a little gear icon. I think it's like down here somewhere on the end of the video. You could click on that and it allows you to either slow down the video or speed it up, so you could go on your own speed. And remember, you could always stop the video and rewind it so that you can see the stitch again. Okay, so here I fastened off and I put my stitch marker to mark the beginning of the round there. And now here in our pattern, it tells us to, with a B, which you could do either the aqua or the tea rose color. I'm going to be using the aqua. So here it tells us to attach with a double in the 4th double crochet the previous point. We're going to chain 2. That's going to count as a double crochet, and then we're going to start doing these double crochet together. Here it tells us how we're to work the double crochet, and you can read those instructions as well, but I'm going to show you how to do that here. We're going to be working along this side here and then on both sides of the point. So you're going to go up here along the foundation chains. These are the foundation chains, and then the regular stitches there. So here you can either start with a slip loop or you can just attach without it. So here I'm going to just go ahead and do a little slip loop. I always like to leave a tail because it's easier to sew it in. So here if I count from the end, then it's 1, 2, and then here's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to be attaching here on the 4th chain of the double crochet, and then it tells me to chain 2 to go up. Remember this, it tells us that the chain 2 counts as a stitch. So here's 1, 2, and then here we're going to begin doing our decreases. So here, this is a 5 double crochet together. I'm going to put a stitch marker here just because at the next round I need to know where that 2nd chain is, and sometimes it's hides. So, but this is not called for in the pattern. So here I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to go into the next stitch, the double crochet, pull out. I'll have 2 loops there. I'm going to pull through the first 2. There'll be 2 loops left. I'm going to go into my next stitch, double crochet. There's 4 loops now. I'm going to pull through the first 2. Now I have 3. This is the stitch marker where the round started. So here, let me take this off because I'm going to be decreasing in that stitch as well. I'm going to yarn over, go here, pull out, and then go through the next 2. So here now I have 1, 2, 3, 4. And then here, my next stitch should be in this stitch here, but I don't like the way that looks when I get to the end. It kind of looks kind of separated. So I'm going to kind of adjust the pattern myself, but if you want to do it exactly like the pattern says, you can do that. So here I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to have 4 there. So here I'm going to yarn over, go into the next stitch there. If I can actually, it's kind of hard to get into the foundation chains there. Decrease, and then 1 more, go in there and pull out through the 2nd. So now here, if you count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you should have 6 loops, and I'm going to go through all of them, and that's going to be my 5 double crochet together. So here I did skip that 1 little chain, but once I kind of join this here, it seems to close up really nice versus having a really big open space at the end. So here now it tells us, so I know that it is different than what it's saying on the pattern, but I just did adjust that. But so here now the pattern says to double crochet in the next 4 foundation stitches. So here's 1, and sometimes it's kind of hard to get them in that little foundation chain. 2, 3, and 4. Now we need to skip the next stitch, the next chain, which is right here, and then I'm going to go into my first stitch, which is the single crochet. I'm going to yarn over, go here, and that's going to be my point. You're going to do 3 double crochets, 3 chains, and 3 double crochets into that same stitch, which is that single crochet. So here now I'm going to have 3 chains, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to go back in here, chain 3, 3 double crochets after my 3rd chain, 2 and 3. Now in our instructions, so here you're going to see what the point looks like. There is kind of that skip chain, just give you an opening there. Then this is the tip of the point of the starfish. Now our instructions tell us to skip the next half double crochet stitch, which is this, and then we need to do a single crochet, a double crochet in our next 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now here you're going to repeat what we did here with our 5 double crochets together. I'm going to do the 5 double crochets together one more time, but the rest you can go ahead and do on your own. So here you yarn over, go into your next stitch. There'll be 3 loops, pull through the next 2, yarn over, go into the next double crochet, pull through for the first 2. Now you have 3, yarn over into that single crochet, pull out. Now you have 1, 2, 3, 4. I did skip this one here because I wanted to have a smaller opening at the end. And I went in here, pulled out one more time, and then the second one. So now we have 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that we turned into 1, and there's 6 loops. You pull through all of them, and that is your 5 double crochets together. So now here, repeat what I did here. Go ahead and go into your next 4 stitches, skip this next stitch, then do your point at here in the single crochet. So you're going to do the chain, 3 double crochets, chain 3, 3 double crochets, skip the next half double crochet, and then continue repeating until you have all your points. When you come to the last point here, you will only have 3 double crochets instead of the 4. So 1, 2, and 3. Then we'll come back and we'll work on the round number 3. Okay, so now here we're going to go on to our round 3, and now in this round we're going to be working in the back loops only. Now remember I told you that that second chain counts as a stitch, and I put the stitch marker there, it's easier to find. So here, once we start our next round here, we're going to begin by doing 3 double crochets together. This is going to be the first stitch, 1, 2, and then 3. So here you're going to get your yarn here. Let me move the stitch marker. So here I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to go into that second chain, that's going to be my first stitch. I'll have 3 loops, I'm going to pull through the first 2, okay? And now I'm going to do that again on the next stitch, 2, and the next, so it's 3. So when you count here, you should have 4 loops on your hook, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're going to pull through all of those. So now this is what that stitch is going to look like. You close that there. Excuse me. Let me go back here. I just blew that. I forgot to do these other 2 in the back loop. I guess I should edit that out, but let me try again. The chain is only 1, so that's not a problem. Then this one, I'm going to do it in the back loop only. And then the third one. Sorry guys. So now I have my 4. I'll pull those out. Maybe I'll just leave it that way. People know that I make mistakes too. So now here, after we do that, we're going to do a double crochet in the next 5 stitches. So here's 1, only in the back loop, 2, 3, 4, and now 4, 5, only the back loop. So now we're coming here. So this is what we have so far, and you could see the little ridge there from the back loop there, and this is the first stitch there. Okay, this is the first stitch of the round, so let me go there. So then here now it tells us to go ahead in our next chain 3 space. It's telling us to do the 3 double crochets, chain 3 3 double crochets in this space. So here I'm going to go ahead and do 1, 2, and 3, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, do 3 double crochets again for that point, 1, 2, and 3. So now our point is done right here at the tip there, and now after I do that point, it is asking me to skip the next stitch, and I'm going to double crochet in the next 5. So the back loop only, and I don't know how many times I pulled it out because I keep forgetting to do the back loop only. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and now here we're going to repeat what we did here on the next 4 points. So once again here, then you will repeat the 3 double crochets together, 1, 2, 3, back loop only, and then do the same thing we did in all the other ones. So here, okay, here I finished that round. So now here on this next round, in round number 4, we're going to work in both loops. So it's not just the back loop here. So here is where my round begins. So let me take that stitch marker out. So here we begin this round with doing 2 double crochets together. So these are the next 2. You're going to yarn over, go in your next stitch. You'll have 3 loops, pull through 2. That's 2 there. And then go in the stitch after that, right here. Do another decrease. There you go. And now here we're going to do a double crochet in each of the next 7 stitches. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay. So now we've gone here to the top, and now once again in the center we're going to do our little corner, which is 3 double crochets, chain 3 3 double crochets in that chain 3 space. I apologize if you hear some noise in the background. My neighbors are having some kind of construction in their home, and it seems like every time I start filming, somebody starts working. So here we go again. Now 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so I did my point there, and now I'm going to skip the next stitch, and I'm going to double crochet in each of the next 7 stitches. And then after you do that, you're going to repeat what we just did on this stitch by doing your 2 double crochets together, and then repeat that sequence pattern for every single point all the way around. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and change color to our linen, and then we're just going to have our edging around the stitches. So, okay, I finished my round, and I'm going to go ahead and fasten off. So I'm going to cut my yarn there, just pull it out. Now I'm going to change for our edging. We're going to be using the linen color. Okay, so here now I'm going to go ahead and join the linen color, which is a seed color, for the edging, and it asks us to join in with a single crochet in any chain 1 space. So I'm going to go ahead and get this here, bring my yarn out, and I'm going to do 1 little chain there so I can go ahead and do my single crochet, and then I'm going to do 2 more. So 1, 2, and 3. And now here it asks us to go ahead and do a single crochet in each of the next 9 chains. Let me get some more yarn here, and then we're going to do our 3 single crochets together in the center point. So here then it asks us to do 1 single crochet in each of the 9. So here's 1, 2, and 9. Okay, now after we do 9, it asks us to do 3 double crochets together here in the center. So I'm going to yarn over, go in the first one, 1, the next one, 2, and 3. So here's 4 loops on the hook there. And now here we're going to go ahead and we're going to single crochet in the next 3 here, in the next 9 single crochets. 1, 2, we're going to single crochet, 9, and then here we're going to go ahead and do 3 single crochets in the next chain stitch, the chain 3 stitch here. 1, 2, and 3. And so here we've completed our pattern there, and you're going to repeat what we did here, 9 single crochets in each one of these 9 single crochets, and then in the center 3 we're going to do 3 double crochets together, and you're going to keep repeating that for every single point until all your points are worked here. Okay, here I'm coming to the end of the round. So here I've already done my 9 single crochets. So here I'm going to do the decrease here over this, and this stitch. So I can remove the stitch marker there. So even though this is higher, then you're still going to do your 3 double crochets. So here I'm going to yarn over the 3 double crochets together, pull in, do through the first 2, go in my next stitch, go through the next 2, and the third one. Now I have 4 loops there, and close that off, and then I finished doing all my single crochets. See, and it all takes shape all the way to the end. Okay, so now here for the last row of our edging, for round 2 of the edging, it tells, well, here we need to slip stitch into the first stitch, single crochet here, so we can close that off. Now it tells us here to chain 1, and then we're going to work 1 single crochet backwards, and I guess a lot of people would call this a crab stitch. So here instead of going single crochet to the left like we never normally do, we're going to go in backwards. So then here I'm going to go ahead and single crochet in the next stitch before, pull that up, single crochet. Let me get a little bit closer so you can see that. So here now you go into the stitch before, pull out your yarn, there's 2 loops, single crochet. Go to the next one, go in there, pull out your yarn, single crochet. And it starts kind of making what is called, I guess some people call it a crab stitch, but it kind of looks like a little rope. You can see that there. So this is just a normal single crochet, and this is the backward one. So you're just going to get your stitch and go all the way till you get right here, just like that. And you're going to be working that all the way back around all your points. So here, work it all the way around every single point. When we get to the end, then you're going to go ahead and then we're going to slip stitch in the first single crochet to join, and then you can go ahead and cut your yarn, fasten off, sew in all your tails, and you will be done. Okay, you've gone all the way around, and now you could see the difference here. It looks like that little, almost like a rope. I guess it's called a crab stitch. It's backward single crochet, and you could see the difference between that and just a regular single crochet edge. And now here you're just going to slip stitch into the first single crochet. It's kind of strange because you're going backwards. Slip stitch there, cut your yarn, and now you're done. And all you need to do now is sew in all your tails. Your dishcloth is done. If you don't like that edge, you could also just leave it plain like this. Just do 2 rows of single crochet around. But I really like the way it came out. They're super cute. You can make a bunch of them, do them for gifts, and the cotton is really soft. I think it's softer than some other ones you find. But I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. Please be sure to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Hit that little bell so you're notified whenever I put up a new video. And remember, if you want to follow along or print this out, you can just go to redheart.com, print out your pattern LC2272, keep it for your records, and I think these would make a really great housewarming gift. And these are the kind of things that also are really great for people who sell items in little craft fairs. Have a great day, and remember always that God loves you.